Hello and welcome to Indian Story. There is nothing more beautiful and exciting than story. Everybody has a story. In fact, the story is a light. Now let's watch what this story has to say.
संघ के विचार में सबसे पहले व्यक्ति निर्माण है, क्योंकि उनका सोच है कि व्यक्ति का निर्माण होगा तो समाज का निर्माण होगा, और समाज का निर्माण होगा तो देश का निर्माण होगा. Political leader who has that capability of leading India to become a Viksit Bharat or become a developed society, it's only Narendra Modi ji. He has that competence to comprehend what is required to lead India to become a Viksit Bharat. I come from a business family, and the greatest teaching I would say is the value of credibility. I've been born and brought up in Delhi. We used to live in a place called Jawahar Nagar, which is very near the Delhi University. I come from a business family, so my grandfather and my family originated from Meerut. So Lala Fateh Chand was my grandfather's name, and Govindi Devi, that was my grandmother. As I said, every summer, winter vacations, we used to be in Lucknow, all of us together, and the kind of indulgence there was, it was phenomenal. Naturally, a large family of 6, there would be so much of fighting and so much of halla gulla. At the same time, we all loved music and films, so we all would go and see all the films possible and get records which would be played on that old gramophone with the hand winding system. So all those are very fond memories I have of. I graduated from Sri Ram College of Commerce, but my schooling was from St. Xavier's School in Delhi, and very accomplished, as I said, educational career. Never thought actually that academically I would do so reasonably well. So my father Mahendra Kumar Mittal and my mother was Mridula Mittal. So father came from Meerut and my mother came from Lucknow. My father was very hard-working man. And as I said, there was an unfortunate incident where he lost his hearing while I was in school. And that's what basically prompted me to be in assistance for him. And as I said, he was A, very hard-working man, B, a man who never complained. So in spite of having such a major handicap, he for once, not even for a day, wallowed on that or cursed anybody and said, "Why, hey God, why did you do this to me?" Never. He was, okay, this has happened, let's go forward, let's look forward. My mother again was ahead of times. She was a graduate and she studied law for some time. At that times, in those times, this was quite a unique proposition. And she valued education. So the primacy for her concern was always education. And I think that runs in my family. So all my siblings were highly educated, academically accomplished, and similarly our children, our next generation again has done wonders. And she knew how to keep everybody together. And she was a great communicator. She had initiative in talking to everybody. She had a phenomenal memory, so she will remember everybody's name, telephone numbers, what they told last time when they met her, and I mean, she was a phenomenal lady. I had 5 sisters. Unfortunately, I lost one. My eldest is Amita ji. She was an artist and she taught, and she's a very accomplished woman. Then the second is a surgeon who's now married in Gorakhpur, and the entire family is that of doctors. The third sister is Madhulika. She runs a very renowned school in Vasant Vihar and a great educationist, a great, in terms of enterprise, in terms of initiative, she's phenomenal. Then my fourth sister was settled in US, Nirja. Unfortunately, we lost her to cancer last year. Then my youngest is Reena. She again is a very accomplished, she's done 3 majors in finance, marketing and then now psychology. She's a counselor, earlier she was a recruiter. A very, very accomplished woman, now living in San Diego. As I said, we are a very close-knit family, so all for one and one for all. That's been the motto. We've all interacted, and the best part is not us, the next generation also is very, very closely knit. So it's an extended family for everybody. My wife's been, her name is Sudhanshu Mittal. So we got married in 1987. She is a professor in Delhi University. She's done a doctorate in applied maths and a very, very brilliant woman. I mean, we complement each other. So I was very clear that my spouse must be somebody with a very independent identity, and they should be so that we have space in our lives which complement each other, not dependent on each other. We have 2 children. I have a son and the daughter, and the son and daughter both are very accomplished academically, and Devansh went to INSEAD for his masters before and did his undergrad from USC in US. My daughter went to Yale and then did her management from Wharton. So they both are academically very, very accomplished and very, very competent. My son's got married to a lovely bahu I have, Akriti. She's a lawyer, a topper from O.P. Jindal Law School, and a very, very competent and very, very, I feel blessed that I have such a wonderful daughter-in-law. My daughter is likely to get married to somebody who's an Indian American, again from Wharton, was with her, and a very lovely boy called Sagar. When I joined business, it was a joint family business. At that time, with my father's consent, I took a decision when I was still in school to go alone. So there was a partition. Everybody told me that at this young an age, and with especially the handicap we suffered from in terms of my father's disability, that would be a very unwise decision. But I still took it. And then we just never looked back. The business grew, the fame grew, and we've never looked back ever since. Multiple businesses, but as I said, the principal business continues to be the tenting business, which is now branched off in 2 major companies with diverse activities. Plus, then I have now developed multiple interests. I was a student activist right from school. Then in my final year, I was offered, I was not a political activist, I was offered to contest from the Delhi University Students' Union, for the Delhi University Students' Union, from the side of Bharatiya Janata Party's student wing. Used to be an organization called Janata Vidyarthi Morcha. I agreed, then they fielded me for the presidentship of it. So I became the president of Delhi University Students' Union in '81 while I was still an undergrad. After that, then it became a journey you don't look back. When I look at inspirations, different fields and different spheres, different people have inspired me. So when it comes to business, naturally my role model would have been my father. He was there to hold my hand and give me the freedom of initiative. He taught me how to take failures in your own stride and look forward. That to me is the greatest attitude he gave me, which is still my greatest asset. Then in politics, I worked very, very closely to somebody whom I can truly call my mentor, Mr. Pramod Mahajan, who's a brilliant man and I mean, his foresight was so phenomenal that very few people in today's contemporary politics could match up to him. In sports, I was always a sportsman. So, there have been multiple influences in my life, and I've always cherished all those influences. Comes natural to me. Having started life early, one never looked for the easy solutions, and I thrive on challenges. I thrive on innovations. So whatever can be different than what is already there excites me greatly. I've been a systems man. I've looked at organizational issues. I've looked at electioneering from the point of view of a scientific approach to electioneering. I have always enjoyed looking at macro issues and then coming up with my own solutions for micro issues, and that's what so I greatly enjoy electioneering. That's my passion. I have been involved in this agitation right from the early 80s. And in fact, when the Kar Seva were fired upon in 2090, when the Rath Yatra took place, at that time I had approached the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court permitted me to go to the disputed site, now the site of the Ram Temple, without being stopped by Mulayam Singh. So I was the only one who had a legal right to actually do Kar Seva at that point of time. So, and I've gone through the documentation. I had great faith and great commitment, because I thought that was the gravest injustice which has been done. You see, Ram Temple has to be viewed in the context of how civilizational behaviors have looked at conquests. So the moment there was a set of people who were conquered upon by a conqueror, what would he do to the conquests? He would rob them of their wealth, he will dishonor their women, and he would destroy their religious faith by destroying the temples and by humiliating them on their religious existence. So Ram Janmabhoomi, like any other, like thousands and thousands of temples across the country, was a manifestation of this barbarianism by the conquerors. Now I always felt that the balance of equity demanded that the Muslims should have realized that, looking at the historical wrong, they should have respected the feelings of the Hindus, because they were not comparable. See, a Babri Masjid was never comparable to a Ram Janmabhoomi. So it was a Makkah versus a Ram Janmabhoomi, there was equity. But any mosque versus Ram Janmabhoomi, there couldn't be equity. And the Duragraha, I call it, of the Muslim community of not recognizing the sentiment was something which I feel sad about. I think for the integration of the societies as a nation, the hurt of the majority community must also be understood. It's not only just the minorities which can have a hurt syndrome. The humiliation of the majority by the conquerors of the Muslim community should be realized by the Muslims, and I think they should exhibit goodwill towards the majority community. I have been to Ayodhya before that, so on 22nd January, I think it was a dream come true, and the most satisfying moment in life, the few moments where you just lost consciousness of everything else and just felt the eternal glory of that moment, and it was amazing. I am a very keen player, so I continue to play, as well as I continue to indulge in promoting a game which was which was dying. So I head the Kho Federation of India, and I'm determined to make it a global sport. I've done reasonably well by creating a halo around it, by making it very contemporary, very modern. I have to ensure that Kho is a part of the Asian Games, and subsequently we are targeting for 2032 Olympics, to have this included in 2032 Olympics. I think quite a bit of it, globally as well as domestically. Again, the beauty of Kashmir is unmatched, and so is a place called Zermatt in Switzerland, which is completely pollution free. There are no cars, there is no nothing. The natural beauty is untouched, and I think these are the two beautiful places I remember. I have been in politics not for self-glorification, but for strengthening the systems which govern this nation. The other side is sports, since I believe that, society will benefit out of the popularity of this game. You see, Kho is played by it's a mass game. It required no investment, it required no expenditure. So it's a game which has been patronized by the underprivileged. So you go to villages, you go to dhanis, you go to small hamlets, you go to juggies. Everywhere Kho has been played because it required nothing. So when this game becomes a mass game, and these people who play this become stars, now a dream is born. Now we've got Kho enrolled as one of the games on the basis of which you can have central government employment on sports quota. संघ के विचार में सबसे पहले व्यक्ति निर्माण है, क्योंकि उनका सोच है कि व्यक्ति का निर्माण होगा तो समाज का निर्माण होगा, और समाज का निर्माण होगा तो देश का निर्माण होगा. तो व्यक्ति निर्माण में goodness, as I said, the focus is on goodness, nobility and seva. So in the context of Viksit Bharat, when I look at, I realize that the only political leader who has that capability of leading India to become a Viksit Bharat or become a developed society, it's only Narendra Modi ji. His own administrative experience, his vision, he has that competence to comprehend what is required to lead India to become a Viksit Bharat. I think it's a great initiative because you putting a perspective to the names people are familiar with. You're bringing out the lives, their struggles, their value system, their aspirations before people. All these things can be inspirational. At the end of the day, people do idolize someone or the other and then follow their footsteps. So if you can give them faces they can get inspired by, I think it's a great service you're doing.
Yes, we are all unique. We come and go. But these stories are legacy forever. Do share your story with Indian Story anytime, anywhere. And don't forget to subscribe our channel